Donald Trump hosted a meeting of his Board of Peace on Gaza's reconstruction. And as you can see, I'll play this clip. As B-roll, Trump was struggling to stay engaged throughout this very long meeting. And while, of course, we all want peace, we all want a dignified and prosperous future, which will require a lot of rebuilding for Palestinians in Gaza. Number one, do I trust Trump's leadership on that? And for it not to be some sort of cash grab for him or some funny business going on? No, but wishing the best. And number two, this Trump as the peace leader and Board of Peace meeting happening literally as we're all rapidly reading reports about Trump preparing for a full-scale war against Iran. Strange timing. And that's definitely, that news is overshadowing this event, which is what we'll talk about. I'll show you a little hot mic where you can hear a host reacting to one of the things Trump said. As always, at any event where he's speaking, he's going to be going off script and making some very awkward moments. Thank you all again for being here, whether it's live or watching back in segment form or the full show later. CNN reports U.S. military prepared to strike Iran as early as this weekend, but Trump has not yet made a final call. You also have this. Jennifer Jacobs, CBS News' senior White House reporter, dropped an exclusive report on Wednesday night detailing when President Donald Trump will be fully positioned for an all-out assault on Iran. Like, this is what we're reading. This is the news that's breaking as Trump is once again creating a Board of Peace and talking about how he should get the Nobel Peace Prize as we're preparing for war. I gave you some of my more foundational thoughts on this yesterday. You can see that segment if you're curious. The U.S. has been moving a vast amount of military assets into the Middle East as talks between Iran and the U.S. continue under the explicit threat of military action if no agreement on dismantling Iran's nuclear program is reached. Now, you're probably thinking two things. Number one, wait, why would this even be necessary? I thought we had an agreement on Iran's nuclear program. We did under Obama, but it was dismantled. Now Trump's trying to create a new one and failing, thus pushing us into military action, he says. That's why it's justified. And on that, you go, wait, but I thought that they already destroyed the nuclear program. Well, apparently when we said we didn't believe some of the claims from the White House on that, we were correct. Aaron Rupar says it needs to be clearly stated that it would be absolutely insane for the United States to start a war of aggression against Iran. If anyone thinks that Trump gives a rip about democracy or human rights, you are kidding yourself. It'll be another campaign of domination and plunder. Just the quickest pause to request that you click the subscribe button, the simplest, easiest, freest way, completely free, to support the work that we do. Right below the video, click that subscribe button. Back to the video. So a frightening situation. I do think it calls for flashing back to this before showing you some clips from Trump's remarks.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
That now applies, I guess, to Trump himself. Now, this was interesting. There was a little hot mic where you could hear a CNN host gasp and respond to what Trump was saying during these remarks, where for some reason he started talking about not liking young, handsome men.
He's a great guy. They're all great. But I was very proud of it. President Pena of Paraguay is here. President, thank you very much. Young, handsome guy. It's always nice to be young and handsome. Doesn't mean we have to like you. I don't like young, handsome men.
What?
Women.
Right. President Trump is speaking to...
You heard? Who was that? That was Sarah Seidner. What?
Young, handsome men.
What?
Women.
Right. President Trump is speaking to
That's
his...
all of our reactions. What? What is this event for? Why did he go off on that tangent? Then you saw this in the B-roll. But he struggled, for all the talk of sleepy Joe Biden, struggled to stay engaged.
And the successful implementation of the second phase of the Gaza peace plan. This includes ensuring a lasting ceasefire.
That's right. There it is. And you have another example of this. I mean, he needs to stop. This event was it not in DC? I'm pretty sure this was in DC. So I don't know if they can use the he had a long flight excuse, but maybe I'm wrong. Here is him getting startled awake by the applause.
دولة الكويت الثابت بدعم كل مسعى يهدف إلى رفع المعاناة عن الشعب الفلسطيني الشقيق وتحقيق الأمن والاستقرار في غزة. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you.
So while Trump may not be a peace leader, as we've now seen in a couple of cases, Venezuela, looks like Iran, he feels peaceful. He feels very peaceful enough to take a little bit of a sleepy time. Then you have any Trump remark is him for the first time interfacing with a word or a name instead of trying to practice that word or name before he goes on stage.
President Mirziyoyev of Uzbekistan, who is where? There he is, and a friend of mine.
Great guy, Mirziyoyev. And as happens now at every Trump event, he has to plug Melania's movie.
And it's a big movie star. And I always say it's trouble because I always say there's not room in one family for two stars. I told them that we can't have two stars in one family. So I don't know what that means, but it's not good. But it is good because we're proud of her. She did people in the United States love the First Lady, and she did the movie, and it's become the biggest selling documentary in 20 years. Can you believe? The theaters are all packed. Women especially, they go back and they see it 2 or 3 times.
So if you can find record of any person going to a Melania movie, then going again to see it once more, and then going a third time as if they're watching, like I've watched The Wolf of Wall Street a bunch of times, and if they're one of those people, or I just watched The Menu, and Michael said that he's watched it a bunch of times and notices more things every time he watches it. If anyone is doing that with the Melania documentary, you know, by the third time I realized there were all of these different subtle Easter eggs that I didn't even pick up on the first or second time. Then they must go to a clinic of some kind. They must go. I saw Elon Musk post make insane asylums great again or something like that. And there was a photo. It was him split with an insane asylum, and his face was like, and it just looked like the insane asylum was for him. But in this case, that's where you would have to go if you actually went to the theater 3 times to see.
We should have our heads examined.
The Melania documentary. Trump is using his remarks at this Board of Peace meeting to complain again about the UN escalator.
Very closely working with the United Nations. In fact, I'm going to speak to the Secretary General in a little while. He's a good man. And I've had a good relationship. Other than in my last speech, they did turn off my teleprompter. I got up there. My teleprompter didn't work. I'm sitting in front of all of you people and more. I had no teleprompter. I knew I was in trouble because I'm walking up. You know, the teleprompters are over here. I had the most beautiful speech ready. I was all set to knock them dead. First, I had an escalator that stopped. You know that. It's going up. Boom. It's lucky my movie star First Lady was in front of me because I put my hand on a certain part of her body, and I was able to stop my fall. Otherwise, because she had no trouble. I said, boy, that was a very sharp stop, Johnny.
So now he's just making stuff up. Could we pull up that clip, please? Because that is exactly not what happened. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I do not remember him putting his hand on a certain part of her body, which, by the way, would be the first time in 2 decades that he's ever done that. But let's keep listening to this while Jaden looks for the clip.
So I said, that was strange. I've been on a lot of escalators. It's never happened before. Usually it stops very slowly. This was just boom. But our First Lady was right in the proper location for me. I'm waving to people. And
all right, let's watch back this horrifically terrifying moment where Trump nearly had his life taken. Here we go. They get onto the escalator. It stops. Trump's hands stay firmly on the escalator. Okay, you can stop that. Isn't that weird? Like, I know that's such a small thing. Number one, I don't know why he's still complaining about that. It didn't stop that abruptly, whatever. But then you had, of course, all the right-wing media saying this was a conspiracy to hurt the First Lady and Trump because it it stopped. I mean, it stopped in a pretty normal way for an escalator to stop. Maybe someone bumped the emergency button. Who knows? A technical issue. And then Trump told the story like it was a crazy feat of humanity in previous speeches, where then they bravely walked up the steps without it moving like warriors. And then he invented new aspects to the story where he fell forward and I grabbed Mel's ass and I said, keep me steady, Mel. And then you watch the video and his hands were nowhere near her body. Like, how do you just make up stuff? Okay. There's video, but whatever. And then he's still annoyed that he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, as literally he's about to attack Iran.
And bringing together the Board of Peace. Oh, I thought when I saw this note, I'm excited to announce that Norway, I thought they were going to say that they're giving me the Nobel Prize. Oh, this is less exciting. Oh, it says, I'm excited to announce that Norway, and I'm saying, oh, great, I'm getting the Nobel Prize, finally. Finally, they got it right. But I don't care. I don't care about Nobel Prize. I care about saving lives, just so you understand. We play and we all, do what we have to do. I only have one thing. I don't want to see people killed from parts of the world that are very far away from the United States. And if I have an ability to turn off wars, I want to use that ability because it's people, millions of people. It's like the Prime Minister said, 25 million people maybe. And that's a small number compared to what it could have been if you really think about it.
He's saying that he saved 25 million lives. We don't know how he calculates that number. What about all the lives that have been lost because of the gutting of USAID? What about the wars he started or wants to start? What about the violation of the promise of not starting any new wars? Kamala would start new wars, but I wouldn't.
Well, I was being a little bit sarcastic when I said that.
Maybe so. But that wasn't his only reference of Norway. And it's weird how he admits. So he's sleeping when he's not speaking. And then as he's reading his script, he doesn't know the names of the people he's introducing. And then he also has never even discussed what it is that he's going to be speaking about, because he goes, oh, look, it says I'm excited to announce, and I thought it was going to be the Nobel Peace Prize. You don't think they would have told you if you were getting the Nobel Peace Prize? I'm excited to announce that, oh, dang it. Guys, I'm not that excited. Why'd you put excited? This is weird.
They did and are doing. They gave me their first Peace Prize. They gave me a Peace Prize. I think
FIFA. He's talking about FIFA. Gave him the Peace Prize. Their first Peace Prize. I think it might be the last Peace Prize too.
They gave me a Peace Prize. I think they saw that I got screwed by Norway, and they said, let's give him a Peace Prize. I mean, very good. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it. Johnny's very smart. He's very, very smart.
So that's that. That's what Trump is doing on, once again, the world stage, while honoring himself for being the peace president, while we have reporting that as soon as this weekend, a new war could be started by him. And as Aaron Rupar put it, we're going to hear, like with Venezuela, a lot of explanations that are detached from the truth about what this is really about. And it is difficult to bring yourself to believe that Trump just has a deep-rooted belief in democracy or in human rights when he doesn't seem to want to protect those things in the country that he's actually the president of.